Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, guys, giving you more than the meta. So guys, I want to go ahead and show you some more defensive gameplay. Played against a guy who's using the Cowboys. It was pretty good, but I was able to go ahead and get him the rage quit out. Running with this Vikings playbook, and one of the base defenses I like to use is going to be that 3-3 odd nickel defense. So let's go and jump into this gameplay, kind of show you guys what I'm doing. He's using, obviously, the Cowboys. I'm using Baltimore Ravens as my team. And like the baseline and basically just use conservative. And then usually when I see someone that comes out of, like, doubles formation, stuff like that, what I do like to do is use this as my base defense, which is going to be this linebacker cross 3. One of the things I do now, too, is I want to kind of get a feel for my opponent. I don't want to give up one-play touchdowns. So typically what I like to do in these type of situations is to kind of like blitz all. He actually quick snapped an inside run. My one defender, my tackle, actually got past the center, and I filled the gap right there, and he just came right into me, so I was able to get him in a 2nd-9 situation. So he jumped with an inside zone just to get a field, then he immediately goes into empty. And one of the things I like to do when I do go against empty is I like to go ahead and man up my guys on the inside receivers. And if I've got kind of a receiver that's coming over the middle of the field, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. I've got essentially 4 guys on this side, so I don't really worry about it too much, but I just want to try to protect against the seam with my safety. He basically kind of hitches things up. I've got this all locked up. These guys are locked up. This guy's out here on the outside, and I just have to kind of sit right here in this type of situation, and he's just waiting for a route bounce. I send my spy, then I chase after this guy. He should have threw it right now. He had an out opening. He waited a little bit. I think he was waiting for the crossing route, and I was able to go ahead and sack this guy and get him to a 3rd and 20. So now I jumped into a different type of a defense. I go ahead and jump into the double A gap defense, and I decided to just go into the linebacker blitz 3. And basically I'm going to go ahead and mug the gap and try to get someone off the edge. If he blocks this running back, it's going to essentially get picked up, but my responsibility is to cover this guy, so I have to kind of mug that gap and then get out as quickly as possible to hopefully get one of these guys on the outside to get into the backfield. So I'm just kind of mugging the gap right there in this type of situation. And I got out a little bit too late. You can see kind of a double team right here. I got this guy. There was the inside guy actually got picked up by the running back, but you could see him actually going ahead and trying to fill up that 3 wide receiver right there. So I'm actually in his passing lane. He throws to my outside slot defender right there, and as a result, I get him into a 4th and 20. So I'm just going to go out with an all-out blitz against this guy. I'm going to basically send essentially 7 against this guy in this type of situation. Doing inside shade and basically over-the-top coverage, a pass committing, and I'm just going to go ahead and run down towards the tackle, and if he wants to beat me to the outside with the running back, he can do that. He's not going to get 20 yards against me in this type of situation, so really aggressive man blitz with this 4th and 20 situation. He's not going to be able to hit any kind of routes like that. He can't get corner routes, and right there I actually get my first stop. So next play, I could see that he didn't actually handle pressure too well, so I decided to go ahead and hit him with basically this bear front. I blitz everybody, and then I go ahead and put this guy back into a seam flat, and I drop this guy down into the box with the anticipation that I'm going to get basically a bunch of people, 6 people or 5 people in the box, with the hope that I'm going to get some pressure in the backfield. But he actually runs basically kind of a blocking situation where he's got a crossing route over here, he's got a deep crossing route over here, and then he's got a deep post over the top. I have to chase the crossing route over the top. I'm actually out of position. He had either 2 opportunities. He could hit this route right here, and he also had the big route over the middle of the field. He read it perfectly, no pressure in his face. Makes a good completion right there. And basically does not rack it, but actually gets a field position push right there. So that was perfect read, perfect defense, or no, bad defense, perfect offense for that. So now he goes back into spread formation, and basically I'm going to go ahead and adjust out. I think I went ahead and manned up, and I wanted to go with hard flats out here, just kind of see if he tries to hit the sidelines against me. And I'm just playing the seam right here, trying to protect against the seam. And you'll see basically a guy that actually kind of went underneath. And I feel pretty comfortable about this route combination. I've got protection. I bit down a little bit underneath, and I got myself out of position. He threw right over my defender and right there, and actually falls into the end zone. So 2 quick plays, and I'm thinking, okay, God, this guy's going to throw out my user. He's not intimidated by my user, so I've got to make sure that I don't bite on underneath routes and just assume he's going to look away because my user's in the area, because he will throw against it. So basically a minute, I went ahead, shoot the clock down, gave him basically 40 seconds left on the clock. He's got all of his timeouts left over, and he has to get the ball in the end zone. So my responsibility now is just to make sure that I don't give up any kind of big plays. Right here, he's got basically 4 wide receivers on this side. He's got 1 wide receiver on this side. This guy's gonna follow. And basically, what you have when you have these type of route concepts, you're gonna have some crossing routes. You might have an out. You might have a streak. But when you got 4 guys over here, most of the action is going to come back over. So what I did is, I jumped onto this guy for the most part, knowing that a lot of these routes are going to come over, and I want to try to protect from any kind of deep route in this type of situation. So I should be jumping over to that one defender over here and saying, hey, okay, if you want to throw over the top, that's fine, but I'm not going to give you the open field with a little crossing route. And sure enough, look what he does. He's kind of got a crossing route underneath. He tries to check it down underneath, and I got inside leverage with Simpson, and basically go ahead and deflect that ball, get him to a 2nd and 10. And I'm just watching the clock right now. I want to make sure I put him in a situation where he doesn't get 3 points against me. And if he does catch the ball, we need to have him catch the ball inbounds, so he's burning his timeout. So jump into cover 3 once again, and I think what I do is I basically kept this blitz going on. I manned up this guy on this side. And basically what I want to do is I want to try to protect against the seam. And I actually had a phenomenal route concept where I didn't have anybody out here because my one defender matched with the running back and traced on followed on the backside. So I had to go ahead and protect the high side. He drops it down, picks up a nice chunk of change right there, but he is burning his first time out, so that was pretty much the goal, is make sure we catch it in bounds. He should have ran out of bounds to save another timeout, and it's going to come back to haunt him later in this series. So I decided to go in cover 3 and just play the sticks. So basically my guys are going to kind of fall back to the sticks in this type of situation and get a little cleaner screen. Just forcing him to actually go ahead and throw underneath. You can see all my guys doing that. What he did is he had some type of like kind of a fade concept and a deep comeback route, which was really it was a good read, a good route possession. He's able to go ahead and come back and get that and stop the clock. So I think what I did is I ran with the same play, but this time I jumped into cloud flats in this type of situation, because what these guys, they're going to play the sidelines a lot tighter. And then those inside curl flats. Those inside curl flats don't really play the outside. So you can see how these guys are shifting. They're getting a little bit further out. They're not playing the numbers. They're playing like splitting the sidelines. So he was probably looking let's see if he actually was trying to go back to the same. He's trying to go back to the same route combination. So he had a streak over here. He had a mesh concept, and then he had a deep comeback route, and he can't throw that now. So he doesn't know where to go with the ball. He's actually looking for that, and I'm able to get a coverage sack against him by just making that minor adjustment, which was cloud flats over the top coverage, and basically protect the sticks. It was taking away the route concept that he wanted to go to. So that's kind of a little adjustment that you could do to take away those sideline passes. Now he's basically got 4 guys over here, so he's got a flat route. I think he's got a little crossing route. He's got this route. I don't really remember exactly. I jumped out to this guy right here, trying to make sure that I've got the wreck out there. He actually has got a stop route that actually throws to, completes the ball, and actually gets it. But I burned another timeout against this guy, and he basically is out of timeout. So I'm actually in the driver's seat, because if he catches the ball inbounds, he's in a situation where he's not going to be able to get a completion at all. So I jump in, I think, cover 4, because I want to make sure he doesn't hit me over the top. I go with cloud flats once again. So I've got these guys playing out to the sidelines. So if he decides to throw sidelines, he's not going to do it. I've got cover 4, and I'm going to play this guy right here, because he's only got 1 wide receiver on this side. He's got the running back. This running back comes out and catches it. He's going to probably catch it somewhere around here where I can tackle him short of the first down, and he's not going to have anywhere to go with it. So play cover 4 in this type of situation. He spreads out Cooks, try to get a little more depth. Let's see if he actually goes with the same coverage or the same route combination right here. I go ahead and play Samson's underneath, and I'm looking for the crossing route underneath, and actually throws our corner out and just misthrows the ball. So actually it was a pretty good decision right there to do that. I didn't work out too well for him in that type of situation. So now I decide, okay, so he's got 9 yards. He's got basically 6 seconds left. He's got no time whatsoever. I'm going to just play cover two man with the hope that he doesn't hit a quick little out, which really he doesn't have a lot of time for. I jump into cover two man. I go ahead and press my guys, and then I go ahead and readjust in this type of situation because I don't like that. So I go ahead and unpress my guys in this type of situation to go ahead and have my guys over the top like so. So basically what I do in that, just wait for it to come out, and then you can see a little crossing run underneath. He doesn't really know where to go with it. He takes off the ball, and he knows that he's kind of in a bind right here. He pitches the ball backwards, and as a result, I actually go ahead and get a sack, or I actually get the ball back. So that was just a bad play. He should have just tried to run. Even if he fumbled it, it was a bad decision by him to go ahead and flip that ball back. He knew he was in a bind. He probably looked at the clock, and he's just like, okay, I couldn't do this. So right here, he's actually in a underneath center type situation. I go ahead and hit this guy. He actually tries to throw the ball up top, and I go ahead and click it. So he's currently tanking right now. He doesn't really know what to do. You can look at the score. It's 21-7. I go ahead and jump into basically the cover 6 Willie, and there was nobody out there in that position. So I was just like, okay, I don't like that coverage at all. So I go ahead and jump into cover 4 with that because I just didn't like that read. He's got basically 3 guys over here. He's got 3 guys over here in his running back situation and a tight end. And I'm just saying, okay, if you want to go ahead and attack me, I'm going to go ahead and play the deep half. But I've got a cloud flat out here. If you want to go ahead and do a corner, a levels concept, I've got that covered up with the route combination with the defense I'm setting up. And if he wants to come over to the middle of the field, he can do that. I've got basically defenders, but I don't want to give this guy any kind of fast read. He actually jumps into an RPO, but I do have a flat defender out there, and he realizes, okay, even though he picked up 6 yards, there was defense out there to kind of take that away. Now I switched things up a little bit. I decided to go and jump into cover 6 against this guy because he's using that bunch set. And that bunch set, basically, he's got 3 wide receivers on this side and a single wide receiver. Now, I'll show you basically what I'm doing with my coverage. I'm just assuming that basically he's going to try to go ahead and attack this side of the field. I've got a single wide receiver that I want to man up over here, and I've got this route that's going to hook this guy up, making this guy right here, this user that I'm using, the inside guy, is kind of a free agent. Now, I like to go ahead and man up this wide receiver just to make sure that he mags everywhere I go. But in this type of situation, I'm just going to go ahead and play over the middle of the field and just wait for any kind of route progression that actually comes over the top. If he goes low, he goes low, but that's what I'm looking for. So I go ahead and play inside the box. He thinks he's got single coverage, but I got one of the best defensive backs in the game, and Humphries is able to go ahead and get a nice little aggressive catch against this guy and actually go ahead and TKO him right here in this type of situation. Previously, at the end of the game, I actually went ahead and milked the clock down as much as possible. He hasn't had any ability to go and shut down my offense, so that's why he quit out against me. But I want to kind of show you some of the things I like to do on defense, and if you guys like to see how I break down my offense, you can go to my Patreon. You can take a look at my ebooks. I show you comprehensively what I do. So once again, thanks for your support. Until next time.